Israel's military is investigating whether Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, the architect of the October 7th massacre in Israel, was killed during a military operation in the Gaza Strip. Israeli sources said the military encountered a man believed to be Sinwar during a routine military operation. There were no signs of harm to hostages during the mission. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Thursday, "Who is Yahya Sinwar, the Hamas leader Israel calls the architect of October 7th attacks? Yahya Sinwar is Hamas's leader in Gaza and one of the key architects of the October 7th attacks into southern Israel, making him one of the key targets of Israel's war in the Palestinian enclave." The Israeli military is investigating whether Sinwar, who has not been seen in public for more than a year, was killed in Gaza. Sinwar was appointed the new head of Hamas's political bureau following the assassination of his predecessor, Ismail Haniyeh, in late July, casting him as one of the militant group's most potent figures. Sinwar hasn't been seen in more than a year. One of Israel's most wanted men, Yahya Sinwar hasn't been seen since the war between Israel and Hamas began on October 7, 2023. He also hadn't been publicly heard from for almost a year, until mid-September. On September 10th, he issued his first statement since the war, congratulating Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune for his election victory, according to Hamas's Telegram channel. The next day, his office said he wrote letters thanking those who offered condolences after the death of Ismail Haniyeh, his slain predecessor. And on September 13th, a letter was sent to then Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah. CNN could not verify if Sinwar was indeed the author of the letters. Sinwar was named political leader of Hamas after Haniyeh was assassinated in the Iranian capital Tehran in July. He is seen as more hardline than his predecessor in dealings with Israel and favors cooperation and closer ties with Iran and allied Islamist groups such as Hezbollah. United States officials have long looked to Sinwar's eventual death as a key opportunity to end the Israel-Hamas war. United States officials were mum in the immediate moments after the Israel Defense Forces announced it was investigating whether a strike in Gaza had taken out Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar. If Sinwar is in fact confirmed dead, the ramifications for the Biden administration would be momentous. His potential death, perhaps more than anything else, the singular event that many United States officials had pointed to as the biggest potential game-changer in the Israel-Hamas war that has now been ongoing for more than a year. With a ceasefire and hostages deal to pause the war stubbornly stuck for months, senior administration officials had hung on to hope that Sinwar might one day be taken out, and that could open up doors that simply would not be otherwise. United States officials have looked at Sinwar, simply put, the scalp that Israel needs most to be able to declare that they are done with the Gaza war. Even in discussions of a so-called all-for-all deal, the idea that every hostage held by Hamas would be released in exchange for every Palestinian prisoner that Hamas wants freed, which is widely viewed as far-fetched, some United States officials had mused perhaps such an idea could be remotely viable if Sinwar were dead.